guys, welcome to another episode of Cult Film Review, the podcast where we discuss the films you love and no one else gets, and we see if they still hold up. Tonight is our final Christmas episode. I know you're sad, but it's a good one because we're talking about a genetically altered serial killer snowman that's on the loose, okay? But locking your doors ain't going to help you. It's not.
Nope.
Hair dryers, they can't stop them. And whatever you do, don't take a bath. Because tonight we're talking about Jack Frost. No, not the one with Michael Keaton like you might be thinking. That one's a miracle. This Jack Frost, he's a nightmare. Hey, Chris.
What's up?
You know the difference between Michael Keaton's Jack Frost and this Jack Frost?
No idea.
This one's got snowballs.
Oh, good God.
So let's just start the show.
Your Hollywood system stole our sex and co-opted our violence, so there's nothing left for our kinds of movies.
I did not hit her. It's not true.
Klopex? Klopex. Klopex.
Up yours, baby.
Me and Bubba, my little brother, listen to you every night.
Where in the hell are we?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
What's up, party people? Welcome to Cold Film and Review. Just got to get this out of the way. Do us a favor. Leave us a review on iTunes. It helps out a lot. Helps us climb those charts. Subscribe. You'll get the episodes right to your phone or whatever you listen to, and it's automatic, so you don't even have to do anything. And tell a friend about us. If they're into cult films, let them know. Like, hey, these guys are around. You should listen to them. They're pretty hip and with it. I don't know.
Christ.
Something like that. Tell them that. That'll probably work, right?
And with it.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
These guys ain't no squares.
Yeah.
There might
They're
be
not.
four of them, but there ain't no squares.
I thought it was hip to be square.
Oh.
Oh, not
Because
since
it's
Huey.
hip to be a square. You're right. So just let them know about our podcast. It really helps us out. And tonight,
Yeah,
we're talking about Jack Frost.
we certainly are.
As I said before, if you don't know, it came out in 1997. It had a budget of question mark. It made about question mark in the box office. It was filmed here in the U.S. It has a rating of R, and it currently has a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
pushing that single
Wow.
digit.
Woo. If you don't know what it's about from our intro, basically it's a serial killer who's turned into a snowman and gives a sleepy mountain town a very scary Christmas.
That's a damn good fucking
Boom.
description.
I don't
right
know
there.
who wrote that, but
I wrote that. I'll take credit.
Fucking PR over
A
here.
sleepy mountain town.
and if you guys are wondering who's taking credit for that, that would be Chris Willenbrecht.
What's up?
We also have Kyle Smith
Hey, how's it going?
and Michael Salucio with us as always.
Hi, everyone.
Man, he's energetic tonight.
I am.
Gusto.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this movie, guys. Let's do this. Jack Frost.
Can you say like Jack Frost?
Yeah.
Jack Frost.
You
There
can
you
find
go.
us Jack.
I don't think anybody wants to find us Jack.
So if you don't know, this is my pick. And why would you know?
Wait, should I ask this time, Cody?
Yeah.
Why'd you pick this? Why'd you pick this film?
So that's a good question, right? I wanted to do another like horror Christmas movie because I've been having fun with those and picking them. And I remember always wanting to watch this movie because as a kid, you'd walk by the cover art and it was one of those hologram
Yeah.
cover arts.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And you always pick it up, always turn it and see like a peaceful snowman, and then it would be like that snowman with like
The teeth and
the
shit.
teeth
Yeah.
and the green eyes and all scary. And then so I was like, I wanted to see it, and I knew it was in the same vein as like Uncle Sam, which I was like, okay, so they do like holiday themed horror movies. And that was basically it. It was basically the cover art sold me on this one. So I was like, let's throw that out there, see how that goes,
Yeah.
and see what comes up.
That's so weird that you say that because I do think the gimmick of the hologram was cool, but otherwise this box art is shitty.
Oh,
Like,
it's terrible.
It's really bad. Like I remember even like it's like really 90s like computer graphic art, you know, it's but you're right, the hologram thing did suck you in, but I still never saw it. This is my first time.
This was my first time.
Mine as well.
Yeah,
No, you hadn't seen this one before, Mike?
I had not seen this one before.
I'm shocked.
They didn't show you this in film school?
This wasn't.
I think I was absent that day.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, we did watch it in theater.
Yeah.
I'll explain that
I
one.
saw a stage production of Jack Frost in the aughts of 92.
It went a little differently.
That makes no sense, but whatever. Go on.
So this is everybody's first time seeing this. Had anyone else seen it throughout the video stores?
Oh,
or
yeah.
were interested?
Yeah,
or-
I knew the box art. And I want to say that I remember just seeing posters of it.
I remember the posters in the video stores.
Yeah.
You know, they had one. I remember when it was plastered on the wall. But yeah, I think the thing that I thought was most interesting, was the holographic thing. But at the same time, to Chris's point, the holographic image, wow, cool, still never got me to be like, I should watch this.
Yeah.
This looks high quality.
I'm just something. Oh, that's cool. That's a really cool way they did the box art. I'm gonna keep moving on now.
Well, that's the crazy thing. It did have a theatrical release in 1996, but it had to be so limited and small. I don't ever
You almost
remember.
not call it a
It was
Yeah.
like family and friends.
Yeah.
Because you look it up online, in doing my research in this movie, that's why I kept on finding two different dates of when this movie was actually released,
Yeah.
1996
Well,
and 1997.
They'll roll-
Wait.
I mean,
what
they'll,
was that? What was that?
1996 and
Oh, I think you said
1997.
1986.
No.
It's like, holy
they'll
shit.
they'll roll it out in a couple theaters, see how it does. If it picks up steam, then of course they'll put it in more. But it was probably just a test.
Yeah. Well, it obviously did well because it did get a sequel.
I don't think you have to.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it did well.
It did well. It had to do well in rentals or something like that
I think
to get a
it did.
sequel.
I
no one's
think
gonna
it did.
Yeah.
no one's gonna put a sequel out for that shitty of a movie. How much that it made $1? Let's make a fucking sequel.
It has to be one of those films where maybe even because of the box art, maybe even because of the poster, whatever, people were just we got to watch this film because it's about a fucking killer snowman, and God, does that snowman look horrible?
Yeah.
I imagine it, and then it's oh, maybe it gets scarier. Ooh, I turned the ooh.
It sure doesn't.
The problem I'll say actually with the box art is I don't think the box art did the film justice.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
think it was
it-
better in the
I
film?
don't think it did the film justice. That's
think
all
it
I'm
was
gonna
better
say.
than the film,
That's all
or
I'm
the-
gonna say right now.
That's all I said. So he's gonna keep it. He's gonna
right.
keep his secrets held in until after the break.
Okay.
So why don't we just take one, so we can figure out all Chris's secrets?
After the breaks, though, why don't we just take one, and
we
then
just-
we'll take one.
Why don't we just take a big old steamy break?
Fucking ridiculous.
Looks like deep fried Jack's off the menu for tonight. We can do this the easy way, or we can. This is gonna hurt.
Jack Frost is the movie that we are talking about tonight from 1997, the B horror movie, not the one with Michael Keaton. Just want to reiterate that. And let's just start off with the question that I want to get to first, which I think is going to be a little bit of a battle here. Is this a cult film? Let's start with Mike.
Yeah, I think it might actually be. I think it's been out long enough that it is, and I think it does fall into that weird, almost like it's like a worse version of Leprechaun, like a kind of a holiday themed kind of thing. That obviously this was trying to steal. I think it's pretty clear that this was trying to rob that thunder from Leprechaun. So yeah, I think that it is. I think that people probably do put this on during Christmas sometimes and just say, "Oh man, this is funny, right?" And they just jam it into the old DVD or Blu-ray. Do they have a Blu-ray release of this? Do they have the Blu-ray release?
The old media player.
Did they do a high definition release of this?
Yeah, have they done that yet? Is this
on
in 4K?
Chris?
Yeah, I do think it is a cult film. How many Killer Snowman movies are there out there? And it has all the makings. I mean, the bad acting. It also has a campiness to it and kind of like a charming quality to it as well. So it does make it likable. I don't think that the fact that it was made in 97 could make it not a cult film. But it has the indie vibe to it. So yeah, I definitely think it is.
Kyle.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. I think it's definitely a very schlocky B movie, and it is such a ridiculous concept and the fact that like an actual like a family film Jack Frost came out around the same time and stuff, I thought was, I think probably fuels it. But I think it's in the same category as like a Troll 2 or something, where it is really bad. We've talked about this on other films. I don't quite know if it's hit in that same category as so bad it's good, but it is definitely like just a laughable film that you just watch to get drunk to, I guess. I don't know. That community vibe of these films is what propels them to cult film status.
Well, that's what I think too, and that's where I kind of got my answer from was, I was looking, I was looking at reviews of this on different sites, IMDb and what's the other one? Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
And especially on IMDb, I was shocked with how many good reviews this has from people who have watched this film, and they absolutely love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that sold me right there. It was like even the bad reviews for it were not that bad; they were pretty decent.
I think the film is really self-aware.
Yeah, I think immensely.
It's very aware that it's going to be cheesy. Like the snowman design alone is very cartoonish.
Yeah.
So
all the catchphrases.
Yeah, the
like,
one-liners. I mean, chock
there
full.
were little things too that I noticed. Like I don't know if you guys noticed it, but if you just kept an eye on the background, there was like the same recurring guy.
Yeah.
Like passing by with something in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time you see him, I think he's got like this ridiculously oversized ornament in his hand. He's like walking out of the general store, and then like pops up a couple of different times throughout the film, and I've just thought like, well, that's kind of funny. That alone makes it self-aware. That's got a running gag of there's some fucking weirdness happening in the background.
I wonder if that was like the director, or if that was I didn't look it up, but if there was somebody of significance, or if it was just like, hey, you're the PA, just go back there.
This is also the first appearance of the acting tour de force that is known as Shannon Elizabeth.
Yeah.
This is her first film. Powerful performance.
Oh my God, I disagree.
I'm being sarcastic.
Okay, because she was the worst one, probably.
I'm being sarcastic. Oh.
I actually don't agree with you at all on that.
No?
You could almost start with the beginning of the
you're
film.
right. There's one worse.
With the beginning of the film and Jack Frost, the actual serial killer himself. I had a question too. Was his chin real? Or was that a makeup chin? Because that was a very like.
I think that was his chin.
Man, he has the Jay Leno chin. Then
he's got and it was funny when the camera was slow panning up to him. I kept saying over and over, I'm like, he is going to not look anything like a serial killer. It's gonna be like a horrible casting choice or something. But he really does have like a hard looking kind of features on his face, like
sharp features.
Yeah. And he would strike me as somebody who's a little like fucking out there and a little crazy. So I mean, I thought the casting was good, but I think his chin was real because he just has that look.
Yeah, and he had he's sitting in the back of the execution transportation vehicle, which it looks like a moving van that they basically.
Yeah, I like how it actually was painted on the side. Execution transportation.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a thing.
No, I don't think it's a thing either.
You're just at where you're going to be killed.
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't even talk about the credits. Let's get into that real quick. The opening credits are, that had me. I knew exactly the opening credits.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, the story that the uncle's telling some grown person who's obviously playing a little girl.
It might have been the scariest part.
It was
of the movie.
I would 100% agree with you. It was so creepy.
Yeah,
like I feel like he's about to rape that girl. That's what's gonna happen next.
I kind of thought something was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird.
I felt like whoever was doing the little girl's voice, it was very disturbingly mousy. You know,
it was
just
clearly like either a guy trying to do a girl's voice.
Yeah.
Or
I thought it was a great intro, though.
Yeah, it follows the ornaments. The ornaments of people's names.
It's definitely a unique and original kind of intro for sure.
Yeah,
but it definitely, I agree with you, Mike. I think in the entire film, I felt the most. For watching a horror film, I felt the most creeped out at that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is definitely like a horror comedy.
Yeah, for sure.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then it opens up in this terrible blizzard.
Just terrible blizzard.
And they have the worst windshield wipers.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, well.
But that was shot so well because it's obviously they're not in a car when that's being shot. Like they just built a window with the wiper on it and then, made it look like they were in a car. And I really liked how they shot around their budget. Because if you notice too, in the background of a lot of these scenes, there's no snow.
I did not notice that actually,
there's no snow. Like it was not snowing at wherever they shot this place.
because I didn't even think twice about that.
If you look in the background, like in the woods and stuff like that, there in the background, there's no snow.
There's like little white patches.
Little white patches, but not like you would think like a killer snowman. There's like in a blizzard that was that bad.
Well, I feel like there was there was snow, but it was at fake sheets, because there's actually the first scene when the cop shows up at the station. After he pulls the breakfast out of the trash can, he like goes to walk inside, and there's some snow drift around the porch of the police station, and his foot kicks it, and it flaps up and then flaps down as one solid sheet again.
That is hilarious.
That's
dude.
no, that's how snow works, Kyle.
Okay, well, yeah, I haven't really seen snow in my life.
No, that's what you get for being from Arizona. And so the opening scene, you get to meet the family,
Right.
which is they're driving. He's obviously taking a vacation after he's caught Jack Frost on accident. It wasn't even meant to be. Jack Frost has been killing people for I think 5 years. He's been on the run.
Mm-hmm.
He's killed people and then putting them in pies. And some people said it makes it taste better. And then you meet this family that is extremely not a real family.
What would you? Why would you say that?
Well, because I feel like the dad's in his 50s, the mom's in her 20s, and the kids like.
I don't even think that's it. I don't think the age has anything at all to do with it. I feel like their actual interactions with one another is so cold and so reading lines off a script. Like I said earlier, it feels like they met the day before and then they started shooting. Be like, okay, you're the family, so just be a
do
family
shit.
Yeah,
Drive in a car.
They didn't even,
little Billy.
I mean, I hate to say it, but they didn't even look like they belonged to one another. Like that kid didn't look related to either of those
that's
people.
true. Yeah,
and yeah, you're right. That like as husband and wife, it was just so canned.
yeah,
It was like
absolutely.
He had the sickest bowl cut though.
Oh, the
God
kid.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He was rocking that ginger bowl cut like nobody's business.
Ginger bowl.
Oh my god. Oh, we were talking about worst character in the film. I actually think that little kid was the worst
Yeah, he was
pretty
actor
bad.
in this film.
He was pretty disastrous.
There was a point in this movie where I thought that was a girl. Like I didn't know that
Me
was
too,
his
a couple
son.
of times.
There was a scene where he's like, where the sheriff, his father, is like, "Are you okay, sweetheart?" And I'm like, "Is that a fucking little girl?" And I just didn't know that this whole time. And then it was confirmed, like in the next scene, like that he was the son or whatever.
It was confirmed he
But
was not.
they were
a
so-
girl.
not a girl child.
I think that has a lot to do with
girl child.
I think that has a lot to do with the script and that the fact that they are like this kind of perfect cookie cutter family. It's like Shannon Elizabeth's family is the one with all the problems, but the sheriff's family, they're good. Like
Yeah.
they're real good.
Yeah.
There's really no conflict there between the family, which is great because it does get set up later, which they never bend on this, but like when they really could, like, oh shit, our son's fucked up. He murdered some like kid. He pushed him down and put him on a, like chopped the kid's head off of the sled.
Yeah.
But like he's just like, no, I believe him.
yeah.
My son is good. We are good people. And
we are good people.
and we would not push anyone down in front of a sled to chop their head off.
I did not raise my children that way.
Yeah, I would not raise my children to I would raise them to make me oats.
Oatmeal with antifreeze.
Jesus Christ, that scene. Jesus Christ. Are we going to come back to that,
Yeah.
or should we just discuss
Well,
it
that's
right
a great.
now?
I think that is a great payoff in this movie. Is because I didn't see any significance of the little kid making him that. Daddy, this is for you to eat. So when you get hungry, and I'm just like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything? And then later we find out what it does have to do with.
Yeah, but who lets their kid like we can talk about it now because who lets their kid put antifreeze?
Yeah,
The mom's in the kitchen with him.
What flavor of oatmeal was that to begin with? Why was it brown?
chocolate.
I
oatmeal.
think what is he was jamming a bunch of Christmas things. There was marshmallows or something in that, probably some hot chocolate, some oatmeal. The kid is an idiot, okay? Let's just put it that way. The kid's 10 years old, but he's acting like it's something a 4-year-old would do. Like, Daddy, I made you a pancake, and it's just like a piece of mud or something like that patted down. This kid is 10. By now, he should know that, like, you can't put chemicals into fucking oatmeal.
I know, and he's just like, I just wanted you to stay warm.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
What the fuck is wrong with you? You're in like 3rd grade. No,
Yeah.
by now he's like in 5th grade.
well below his
5th
grade
grade.
level.
He's 5th grade by now, okay?
Yeah.
He should be reading like Lord of the Rings by now. He should know that antifreeze will kill somebody.
Yeah. Everybody knows Tolkien writes that straight
Anything
into
that's
the.
kept in the
It's
garage.
right in the beginning scene.
It's
right in the beginning
It's in the
scene.
beginning scene of the Fellowship.
You didn't remember that when Gandalf shows up, it's because he was going to give Gamgee some fucking antifreeze? You didn't know that? It's the first scene. And then they find the ring and then they go on an adventure.
No, it's a crazy thing too because the mom's in the kitchen with him like the whole time. It's like, what was she doing?
Well, she was being a bad actress and seeming completely disconnected from the world she was even in the whole fucking movie.
she was. She was
Like she was just like, oh, like looking
she
around,
would, like
oh,
leave
boy.
places that she
Like,
wasn't supposed to leave all the
I
time.
feel like she was like a friend. She was like a director's friend's mom or something, and he was just like, oh yeah, I want to give her a role. I want to give her a shot, and then she just played like a scared person trying to act the whole time.
Like she was just actually scared of the camera.
Yeah, she was just
Yeah.
uncomfortable being
Yeah.
on camera.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the kid as well. I don't know where they found that fucking kid, but he's fucking
Dude.
terrible.
Yeah.
I do
Fucking
like
terrible.
I do like the setup for the snowman also with the snowman contest. And then actually getting to see what these people are making in the town as far as it does look like shaved coconuts, like you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
you've seen that
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
on top of candy bars or something like that. It looks like they're making that, but you have what's his name, Tommy? Is that his name? The Shannon Elizabeth's boyfriend?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the creeper.
yeah. He's making like the creeper. He's making the big boobed
Yeah,
snow woman
yeah.
that's supposed to be Shannon Elizabeth. Looks nothing like her.
Nope.
You know, it's hard to get likeness in ice.
Well, it's true. It's very true. It's hard to get that. There's some really cool stuff going on in this movie too. That you get right off the bat with
Jody loves this fucking movie.
Jack Frost. Because you get so many elements with it. Jack Frost, you get a melt scene.
Oh yeah.
right off the
totally.
beginning. When the chemicals hit him and
Yeah.
he genetically changes. How about those graphics too? When he genetically changes, his DNA goes into the
that I
snow.
don't-
That was
I don't
so weird.
know who does that because it did seem like what it seemed like. It seemed like those 80s. That like in the 80s they had those opening credits and they were done to animation.
Right.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It kind of felt like one of those.
Yeah.
Like I thought for a second it was going to be like, here we are, it's Jack Frost.
Like Christmas,
It's gonna be
Christmas
like-
Vacation style.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
exactly. But no, I thought the melting was pretty badass.
Yeah, it looks
dude.
good. They did a good
It might
job.
be well.
I didn't remember
so,
it to be quite honest with you.
So the Screaming Mad George, he does the makeup for this, and he's most known for probably Society, but he also did some work with Predator. I don't know how much, and he also did a lot of the Beyond Reanimators, and he did The Guyver. He directed The Guyver. I gotta say, it's not his best work in this but I don't know how much of it he does. I want to say the melt scene was probably him.
I thought it said.
And
I thought it said that he designed the snowsuit, and that was it.
That's it.
Well,
If that's
in
the case, I'm really
in the credits. He's credited as snowsuit by this guy. So I'm imagining all he did was he did the snowman suit, and that was.
If that's
it.
the case, man, he phoned that shit in because I thought for sure.
Did you say he foamed it in?
Yeah, funny. Ha. Definitely, I thought the scientist when he came out and his neck was bulging out. That seemed like a scene out of Society or something like
Yeah.
that. I thought maybe that was a little bit of his
Well,
stuff.
and at the end when he gets hit first with the
Yeah.
antifreeze, like that kind of melted head look. Yeah, I could
I thought
see
that
it.
was his
Very
contribution.
fleshy.
But if it's just the suit,
I'd say the credit.
Yeah.
I remember the credits. It specifically stated why would you? I'm just trying to think. Why would you put a credit in the film that says very specifically suit by this guy if he did all of the effects?
well,
Because-
his whole company does all the effects of the movie. SMG Productions or something like that, or SMG Makeup.
But he
But he specifically was
just
in there,
did
too.
the suit then, because that's what it said in the credits.
Yeah, man, that's weird.
See,
It's not his best work.
I
by
would
far.
see, but that's the thing too. Is I wonder if it was purposely done badly.
I think it was. I'm kind of inclined to agree that it was. I mean, if somebody like that's working on it,
In which case was this Screaming Mad George easiest job ever?
maybe it was just a fun
Those
job. I think
mittens-
it was just fun for him to do
Those
that.
mittens that were not easy to make, Mike. Those
Yeah,
snowman mittens.
Yeah.
Those had to go all the way
giant-
up the arm.
Those giant oven gloves.
That's what they looked
Yeah.
like. So good.
I
So good.
actually liked the look of the snowman. Like I thought they did a good
It
job.
was the perfect
for
amount
the
of corny
for
for
the
how
mood.
corny this
yeah,
movie
for
is.
the mood
No,
and the
I-
style of the film.
I totally agree with you. It was just a different thing. He's known for like doing that surrealistic kind of like. You ever seen the Guyver? Like all the characters are really big with like big features, like big noses, big ears.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Society, like a butt head walking around. Like there's a lot of like weird surreal stuff, and that's what he's known for. For him to just do the suit, which is pretty much a prototypical snowman that may grow teeth at some point in time. Like
I'm thinking maybe he had his hand in everything, but he specifically dedicated time to build the suit on his own. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe he did more shit too, but like he wants to be credited for that design specifically. He probably requested that credit.
What the hell was he smoking?
I don't know. Well, I mean, like I said, it could just be a fun project. Sometimes you just get to the point where you're like, I just want to
do something fun.
Yeah, just do something that I don't have to try that hard at.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to talk more about the characters that are in this film. And talk about some favorite characters of mine and see what your guys' are. So we'll be right back.
I said, who's out there?
Well, it ain't fucking Frosty.
How are you?
World's most pissed off snow cone. No! Well, what do you know? Armed and dangerous.
All right, guys, we're back talking about Jack Frost. Wanted to get into the characters because this is an ensemble cast. There's definitely the townsfolk that I feel like really make the movie, besides Jack Frost himself.
I feel like ensemble.
Yeah, it's not.
I feel like that.
I'd say it was a strong ensemble.
You're giving the impression that somebody that you know is in this film when you say ensemble.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like there's some actor of note.
Yeah.
When I hear
ensemble, I mean that there's a group of people that drive the story around, but I don't feel like that's the case any more than like the counselors in any Friday the 13th are an ensemble cast.
When I hear ensemble film, I always picture like a movie that brings together tons
like
of
best of the best,
tons of different actors that you wouldn't even expect to pop up in
Not
it. Like,
the movie
like
best of the best.
Tropic Thunder is like an ensemble. Like there's just there's
right.
random.
I would agree with that.
Who you know who they are, and they pop up in little parts.
I would have gone with Thunder in Paradise, but
what's that?
Thunder in Paradise.
That's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan's
Oh,
TV show.
Jesus Christ.
No, I used to watch it all the time. But I think the cast is important. It gave me a feeling that I got when I watched Slither.
How so?
I feel like it like the cast in Slither was goofy enough in the same way that the cast was goofy in this.
I will agree with you. But the way it related to me was how everyone knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like that scene where he's just, "Don't think I won't fucking put a boot up your ass, a police officer." You know,
Right.
blah, blah. Like they know each other. Like, God damn it, Jim, we always got to be like.
Yeah.
Like
It's a
the
small
fact that
town.
it's a small town, everybody knows each other. People have roles, but they're kind of loose more than just knowing your neighbor.
I think the difference though between like that film and this one, it definitely comes
good?
down to the writing.
Oh yeah, sure.
The other one was good, and this one's horrible. Yeah.
Well, you got the general store owner who gives 20% off on everything, no matter
Right.
what's happening.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
That guy's awesome.
He corrects. Yeah, that I will say that was one scene that did make me laugh when like the townsfolk is up in arms and he's like, "Yeah, and you know what? 20% off ammo. Whoa!" And it's like he's just looking for the next angle to sell. It's so fucking funny.
Salt,
to me.
salt, 20% off.
Yep, yep.
Everything is 20% off. He's great. And then you have, I think her name's Maria, which is she answers the phones in the police station.
Mm-hmm.
She has an addiction to hairspray and beauty products. She always looks good.
She reminds me kind of Rhea Perlman.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has that kind of vibe.
She does. She's hilarious. And
She's wonderful.
I love that they store her hairspray in the police station in mass quantities.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That scene is crazy. So basically, they're running from Jack Frost to the police station, and they decide that they're going to blow him up with aerosol cans, and they just
No,
grab.
that wasn't all her hairspray. That was bug spray.
I know a lot of it was hairspray.
No, a lot of it had like a dead bug image on the can.
I swear it was hairspray,
I didn't know what kind of spray it was.
but it made it foggy as all hell.
and Hard to Breathe.
What bugs? It's a fucking snowy.
What do you
mountain
mean?
town.
What do you mean? Like the
Are there
snow
bugs in the
goes
snow?
away at some point.
Does it though?
Not in this mountain town.
Oh Jesus.
You know, I am inclined to think it was bug spray because why would they keep hairspray in the utility closet?
Because she works there.
and like, you know what? Yeah, hairspray is like gonna obviously make it hard to breathe, but bug spray is definitely gonna make it like really
Flammable.
choky and flammable.
Do you think it
and
was a
deadly.
darker story, like they were trying to kill her slowly?
Yeah, there was the subplot.
Like maybe
did.
if we can put a bug spray in her hairspray, she'll always
Yeah, she'll
slowly
change the
die.
labor. She'll just slowly die.
Yeah.
And then you have the two deputies who are like the comic relief.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, and they're fantastic.
They
man.
do have that. They were the two characters that had the best chemistry, I think, on screen.
Can I
Oh,
say
yeah.
one of my favorite scenes with one of them was when he's over helping the wife after the pipe breaks.
Yes.
And it's spraying all over. He comes in right in the nick of time and like helps her fix it. But then he just keeps talking to her about how to fix it and lets her in the car. And as soon as the door closes, he stops right mid-sentence, walks around to the other side, opens his side of the door, and continues immediately from where he left off. I
Yeah.
thought that was like great timing and hilarious.
No, and the kill of the mother Metzer. I can't remember her first name. Was Shannon Elizabeth's mom.
Oh,
But when he at the end of it, like he pops he's like, should we leave her up for the 12 days of Christmas? And then pops the Pez in his mouth. It's so great.
Well, again, background scene. Like, there's a scene a little bit later, right, where I think the sheriff's talking to the FBI guy or whatever, and like they go walking by with the tree on their shoulders with her still tied to it.
Yeah.
Like,
I gotta say, Miss Metzger, Metzer. She was
Metzner.
Okay. She was kind of like a sad character for me.
Me too.
yeah, that was like the one you don't want to see
You
go.
didn't want to see her go. She was she just liked Christmas a lot, and she had a dickbag husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
His
Shannon
son
Elizabeth
just
is great, but
died.
the son was a fucking asshole. Yeah, that's a weird scene because she's just like all about Christmas and she doesn't give a shit about her son just dying.
That's her coping mechanism. man.
Right, but you get the impression it's like the mother in fucking American Beauty dying. Like there's some kind of weird trauma
What?
going on in there. You know what I'm talking about?
You know what? I do know what you're talking about, but at the same time, like,
What?
because the mother in American Beauty also had faults. Like there was no if she had died, I wouldn't be affected by it.
The mother in American Beauty who just loved her son, but she was just so
Oh,
the neighbor,
one.
the neighbor mom?
yeah, the neighbor mom,
Okay.
not Annette Bening. I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say, I was like,
No,
man,
I
she
mean,
was kind of a piece of shit as well.
No. I meant the one that's like traumatized. Like there's something going on in her head, and it's due to the fact that
It's
she has
abuse.
a semi-abusive husband.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it is. Exactly.
Yeah, and then I felt bad when she died. Like she doesn't deserve
Well,
that.
is that the weird thing too? That a lot of the side characters actually have a little more character development than the main family. Like they're a little more fleshed out and a little more realistic than the main family.
Yeah, because I think that they wanted the sheriff to interact with the town, so it goes to a lot of those other characters. So they had to get him away from his house.
And then,
you know,
and to that point, they probably invested way more time in the writing room developing that town.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you got the kills. Let's get into them kills. First,
Subpar at
First
best.
kill. First
what?
I know what I will say. Even though I hated to see her go, I liked Metzer's death
Oh,
the most. Miss Metzger's death.
yep, dude, that was.
What
She
was
just
it?
keeps
What was
smash-
her death?
The one that keeps
Like,
smashing
smashing
her
her face?
into the
ornaments.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
it.
ornaments.
You know what?
Yeah.
I take back my statement. That looked really good because every time
It's
she came
just
up,
so
she had
funny.
more glass in the face.
Oh, but all that, but it was clearly a dummy that they was
Yeah,
jamming
yes.
into the thing.
It was so, and the sound effects were so intense for it. It was just like over
like the
top.
white mitten gloved hand on
Yeah,
her
yeah.
back, like pushing her down.
Yeah.
the head cut off was kind of cool.
Well, with the sled.
That looked so cheesy. It
But
wasn't
it
even
was
that.
alright.
Yeah,
It just
nah.
looked like somebody chucked a fake head in the air.
Yeah.
I like that
Wah,
one.
wah, that was not original.
The one that got me where I was like, this doesn't even make sense because science was the axe down the throat.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's still sticking straight out, like
Yeah.
and no head bent. Like it's just like I'm like, how did
Well, a scientist does show up to try to explain the science of it. Well, this guy must be really strong because he was able to stick the axe the other way around. Like I like how he comes in and he's just like, oh, thank you for your expertise.
Yeah,
in
that
this
was
area.
that was a town doctor.
Was it? Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
mean. Like
yeah.
he was like well, whatever. Yeah.
For as infamous as the tub scene is with Shannon Elizabeth,
Yeah.
I don't think that there's
Not
it's not
infamous
that
at all.
exciting.
It's
like
not.
no.
It's not. She dies.
The back of the box, that scene looked way better than what I got.
It doesn't make. Yeah, he just keeps hitting her over and over again.
against the wall, and then she
I
falls
think
down.
it's
Blood comes
I think
out.
it's supposed to be more than hitting her.
No, I understand. What,
yeah.
I get what they were trying to allude
It's supposed to be.
It's just that
a rape scene.
Yeah.
she dies.
Was it that he jacked off inside of her, and then it killed her? Is that the thing?
You think he Jack Frost?
Or no,
inside
like
of her?
he got off.
The fuck are you trying to? No.
Yeah, he like he finished or whatever, and then that's what killed her because she just falls on the floor
dude,
and
it
blood
was,
comes
it was
out of her
the
mouth.
slamming her against the wall 600
Yeah,
times.
they were trying to simulate.
Oh, I wasn't sold.
I didn't even. You know what? I didn't even. That might be what they're trying to simulate. I didn't get that at all in that scene. Not one bit.
It's not a well done scene.
No,
I understand
no,
what they
it's
were
not.
trying to do, but and not only that, she doesn't die in even in like a gratuitous manner. Really, it's just she gets hit and over and over and over
Right,
again,
right.
falls to the ground, and just you think she's alive for a second, and then she just dies.
Yeah.
She just goes down. I thought he was gonna like stick something through her head or something, like stab her.
Well,
or
he
something.
shoots the that. I liked Tommy's death. Is it Tommy?
Tommy's death was all right.
It was pretty cool with the
Oh.
icicle, and then it comes out, and it's still like the brains through the door.
That
still
one just
kinda
didn't
like,
make any sense to me.
I imagine
Because
the
why would the
icicle
icicle
was.
come out and then brains be?
I don't
through
know.
the
It's,
hole?
it's so
Yeah,
cool.
It didn't make sense to me
Yeah.
because he never used it again. Like that seemed like an easy
Yeah, he did.
way.
No, he did. He tried to throw an icicle one more time, right?
No, he stabs the sheriff in the shoulder.
With an icicle, yes,
Oh,
he does.
okay,
yeah.
okay. He actually shoots it out.
No, he doesn't. He produces it in his where his dick would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, an icicle pops out, and then he penetrates the sheriff.
In the
Okay.
shoulder, which is weird. Like where?
No, it was like in his. It was in his abdomen.
yeah,
it
he's like a
like
7
to
foot
the side?
snowman. Makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, it was like
Alright.
the abdomen. Yeah.
All right, maybe
That's
it was
what would
a little
happen if like Shaq tried to do that to you.
if Shaq tried to stab me in the abdomen with his dick.
'Cause he's like
Okay.
7 feet tall, so that's about where it'd be.
About abdomen height.
About abdomen
I can
height.
imagine right now. He just you get stabbed and he's just like, you've been shacked. Like what the fuck?
Jack Frost's death was the best in the film.
Jack Frost's death. Well, the best, but also the most confusing because it's like you fill up a back of a truck with antifreeze, then you're gonna jump in it
Yeah.
with him, obviously get it all over you, and then you're gonna pick your son up, drown him, in it,
yeah.
baptize him in the antifreeze,
Yeah.
and no one's getting sick from this. No one's
Yeah,
getting,
right. I'm like,
I mean,
how's anybody's eyes open right now? Like, there's no way anybody could do this.
they would have to have swallowed quite a bit to
Yeah.
get sick from.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I actually have been like accidentally doused head to toe in. Well, Dex Cool. It's the same thing as antifreeze.
How did this happen?
Yeah.
Kyle? Were you also fighting a
I
killer
was
snowman?
replacing the thermostat sensor in my car,
Okay.
which is mounted in the engine.
All right.
And like an idiot, I just unscrewed it, thinking, oh, I'll just unscrew this. But as soon as I did, it was just go, just all
Yeah.
antifreeze, just pouring, basically starting at about my chin and then soaking my body down.
Okay.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Yeah, very sweet actually.
So
Tastes
you-
like sugar.
So you
Yeah. No, I've heard this.
That's why animals drink it.
Yeah,
That's why you're not
yeah.
supposed to dispose of it in
Yeah.
the street.
So
so
you're supposed to bury it in the graveyard.
so what you're saying is it is possible for a human being to roll around in a pickup truck full of antifreeze and not like die immediately.
they probably had diarrhea. Let's be honest.
They probably had loads of diarrhea.
And why? Yeah, and why was he baptizing his child in
Because he
antifreeze?
picked up the arm.
mitten, the arm. He
Dad, you forgot the arm, and then it came to life and started
What
choking
a dumb
him.
fucking kid. I'm
the kid's
sorry.
dumb throughout the whole
listen.
movie.
We've already established the stupidity of this child. I don't think we need to revisit it. Like, this
I'm
kid's
sorry.
fucking an idiot.
I had to keep revisiting it throughout the film. So,
How many times did
Jesus
you take
Christ.
you to watch this movie?
oh, I fell asleep 4 times. I fell asleep 4 nights in a row. I tried to watch this whole film. And that's not a testament to the film necessarily. It's just anytime I hit the fucking bed, it's bedtime.
Yeah.
That's what happened. When I hit the bed, it's bedtime.
That's
You
what I
got
call
that?
bedtime.
Let's get into some of the technical stuff if we can. I actually was pleasantly surprised by the cinematography and the lighting in this movie.
the cinematography.
Yeah, it's not bad, dude.
I was totally surprised by the cinematography and lighting as well.
Like what? Like the Dutch angle that happens in that.
Yeah, no, that shot was really lame.
Yeah, I was
but
like, that didn't make any sense.
But there's a lot of really good movement in this shot or this film. There's like, I mean, they don't just keep that camera locked. Like, it's always kind of.
It is.
You know what? It's not good movement though.
Yeah,
in a lot of scenes,
yeah.
there's a lot. Like even the scene in the kitchen when at the beginning when the kid's preparing the breakfast, it's like, really, you couldn't fucking spring for a tripod? The camera's not even moving in the scene. It's a static shot, but the camera is shaking around like the dude's getting tired, like he's getting fatigued holding the fucking camera.
It really felt like to me. It felt like a director getting behind a camera and being like, you know what? I saw this cool shot. I saw this cool shot, but like having no real meaning behind any of it. Like I don't like.
Did you need meaning behind the shots in this movie? Really?
No, but then why use them? Like what? Like that scene where it is that Dutch angle and it's down the hallway where he's trying to escape it. Like that normally symbolizes some sort of like.
Right.
Like a changing of reality, or it's like a warping of reality, or you're going insane, or something of that nature. It didn't make any sense in the context of that shot.
There are moments where you get those experimental shots where people are trying to use it because it's a horror movie. You know what I mean? It's almost like a trope of a horror movie.
Yeah, but there was no.
But I know I get it, but there were plenty of scenes in this film that were shot like really well with like cranes and dollies and like quick movements and you know what I mean, like things that really did give the mood of
There's
the
a
film.
lot of great framing too in this movie where it's like the first kill with the old man in the rocking chair and the three sheriffs standing there with his head tilted back is great framing. And a funny line in that when he's like, "Get your foot off the chair!" Stops rocking
because the kid it's been rocking the whole time.
Speaking of a good, not a good shot, but a shot that it resembles another thing. Shannon Elizabeth in the bathtub. Another thing that reminded me of Slither. Like but in this one, it's like we're gonna show a boob. We're gonna show a boob. Nope.
Sure don't. You get a little butt. You get some butt.
It's kind of it's a weird thing, but I wonder. I mean, I don't think that. James Gunn probably. I mean, he didn't.
He came from trauma, dude. Who knows? This might be something.
It's possible that he saw
into.
Jack Frost and said, "Let's just do that, but do the full bathtub with these slugs coming in the thing." But it did just so remind me because it was just like that overhead shot of it, and then it would kind of pan down a little bit, and then kind of like then it would cut.
Yeah,
I think it's based on our conversation and my personal experience of the film. I think it's safe to say that 50% of the shots in this film were done really well and were creative. The other 50% were static shots that were shaky, like and weren't fully realized and felt low budget. That's what I think.
I don't know. I never felt at any point that it was like the shots were low budget because again the lighting I was pretty impressed with. The lighting is actually really good in this movie.
They did a lot of that, like they split faces in half with like blue on one side and orange on another side, which honestly I don't laugh, but this reminded me a little bit of Hobo with a Shotgun. Or at least Hobo with a Shotgun might have been influenced by Jack Frost, who knows, but it did have a very similar lighting style and shooting style.
We are giving this film a lot of credit.
And
yeah, no shit.
And honestly, I enjoyed how the lighting was for, especially in the night scenes outside of the church with the Christmas lights lit up. It was lit really well. Like it's just everything was. I never at one point was like, "Oh, that's too dark." I never said that. Like at one point.
Yeah, there was a couple scenes though I said were too washed out.
You think?
Yeah, where there was no like dynamic range or there's no contrast. Like a lot of the scenes, most of the scenes in the
house,
in the house and in the daytime were just they're blown out a little too much and like there wasn't enough like information there. You know
I think you guys are giving this cinematography a little too much credit.
No,
here.
I'm saying there's scenes that were done wrong.
Not you.
Thank you.
Not you.
The little bit of the weak point was kind of the editing. There's some rough cuts in there.
I think the editing was actually better than the cinematography.
Yeah, me too. I didn't have a problem with the editing. I don't think I did.
No, I never once felt like it was slow. I never once felt like there was jump cuts or anything like that. Like it was better than the cinematography.
Oh, I disagree.
Okay,
but I thought that the whole scene when they're gonna blow up the police station, that whole editing job was kind of meh. And then like a lot of the opening with Jack Frost in the car wasn't punchy enough. That stuff kind of dragged. That was like probably the most draggy part of the movie.
Where he comes through the air conditioning.
No. I mean when
he's in the back of the kill van.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
I thought that was kind of like the most dragged on part of the movie.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, that scene it would make sense if I was editing it to have that scene drag a little bit, because if I'm trying to build any sense of suspense of a car accident about to happen, like these scenes kind of you need to take a little bit of time to kind of establish like, you know, the situation, the environment they're in, and also you're introducing your character. You're introducing the killer, so he needs to have a little more screen time as a human. What's up, Mike? Your hand is up.
Yeah, can we talk about that editing job for the way that they did the accident?
Rotating the camera a bunch of times.
But showing like what I assume were two bumpers touching.
Oh, ding!
Yeah, ding, and then all of a sudden like tumble.
Yeah.
Like the way they did it, it was just so it was so clearly like we don't have the budget to destroy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's try to do something ingenious. That was another thing where I like the cinematography. It didn't buy it. Like it didn't.
See, I like that they're working around their budget.
No, but I understand. As I understood it, they were trying to make a joke
Yeah.
that like the bumpers just touch.
And make a ding sound.
Yeah,
like
you don't see the car in front of it really, and you don't.
Yeah.
It does not translate.
That's
well.
an added bonus of working around your budget. Like, how can we work around our budget in a creative way, and then also try to make it funny?
Yeah, I agree. I agree that that's what they were doing, because throughout this whole film, like, you honestly don't always get a lot, like in the kill scenes. Like, think about when he runs over the cop, when he's in the cop car and he backs over him. It just cuts. You don't see anything. Like, they do a lot of that in this film where they don't go all the way.
No, because they couldn't.
Yeah, they didn't.
It's obvious.
Well, they used it where they could, like, in the melt scenes and things like that. But
I feel like if you can't go all the way in a film, don't even try it. Like, to make that joke work, that somehow, some way, the laws of physics are just go out the window, and a car just taps another car, and then all of a sudden explodes into a spin. Like, I
don't think they were defining laws of physics. I think it was like, I'm going to slow down this moment to the exact second that the two metal touch, and that happens to make a ting sound. I think it was a creative.
Do you think it, like, in reality, car
it happened,
smashes?
Boom. Yeah.
Okay. As I took it, I thought it was some Looney Tunes Acme bullshit where, like, they just tap, and then all of a sudden, it just, like, the car just, like, tumbles over, and the joke is, like, how did that happen?
No, that wasn't what they were going for.
Okay, so then in that
going
case,
pretty fast
again,
down that
like,
snowy
I feel
road.
like it failed on that level, that it didn't really translate it to me.
I also gonna say this. I feel like I went into this movie with low expectations going in. Did anyone else go in with low expectations? Or I feel like you may have gone into it knowing that you were going to hate this movie.
No, I don't go into any movie knowing I'm going to hate a movie.
No, I actually went into it with much higher expectations. The intro we already established was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like, I saw Screaming Mad George on there, and I was like, well, at least the makeup's going to be fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
And I assumed it was going to be, like, real big and, like, weird. Yeah, no. And then it turned out to be just, like, what essentially was a dude in, like, a suit just running around, and nothing really crazy happened.
He wasn't really running around like
It's a shuffle.
rolling around, shuffling.
It's a shuffle.
Yeah.
It's like a side to side.
Maybe sliding.
And you did, you know what? And you did with him. You also did get that society moment after the police pull up to the station, and he's all like discombobulated. And,
yeah, that's the only
yeah.
part that I thought that he maybe. But again, like we talked about, maybe he only did the suit.
Who knows?
But he's got a whole team. He has a whole team. Who knows what
Got
they
a whole
were doing?
team.
He's got a whole team. Let's rate this Mammer Jammer, shall we?
What are we rating it, Cody?
I think we should rate it carrots. Let's start with Kyle.
All right. I'm going to give this movie. I'm going to go 2 carrots on this one. I think this movie has quite a few scenes where it really came together well. The whole film, what the director was trying to do, and the vision, it paid off. There's a lot of other scenes where it's weak, it's boring, and it drags. However, overall concept of Killer Snowman is hilarious, and I would put this in the same category as it is a group watch type of film, or it's a film you put on in the background so when you look over, something ridiculous or weird is happening. 2 carrots.
2 carrots from Kyle. Let's go with Chris next.
despite falling asleep 4 times during this film, I'm actually going to give it 3.5 carrots.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
You know, I really had fun with this one actually. For a wintertime Christmas movie, I don't know. I expected a lot less. What Cody was just saying, I did expect less from this film, and like once I actually sat down and like watched it, I like that it gave you that feeling. Like it actually is shot like a pretty decent horror comedy. Like it looks good. It plays out well. I didn't think the pacing was that slow. I thought it was goofy and silly. And again, this for me would be a popcorn film. It's not deep in any way. It's just ridiculous. And I think it's done well enough that you're not like, oh, it's just like lack of talent. I feel like it's just lack of funds. So yeah, 3.5 for me. I recommend checking it out. I mean, it's a turn your brain off movie and just, enjoy the ride.
Mike?
I'm going to give it 2 carrots. I'm going to agree with some of the stuff you said, but that only gets me 1 more carrot, maybe even 1.5 more carrots, based on how the film actually turned out. I don't think it's a good film. I think you guys are overstating giving way too much credit to the cinematography. I feel like most of the kills are not much better than the pogo scene in Leprechaun, and I think that even that was done better half the time. Like, there is some good makeup that happens, namely towards the end, where I was like, okay, this might salvage the film, but other than that, like, first of all, the one-liners, not funny, not clever in any way, way too self-aware. It was trying to do too much, but they couldn't execute it intelligently in any way. And for that, the only thing that I like about it really is its holiday theme. It's kind of ingenious in the way it's a killer snowman. That's about it. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize. This is your review for it.
Nah.
All right, I'll go next and last. I am actually going to mirror Chris on this one and give it a 3.5. I had a fucking blast watching this movie. I just took it for what it was. I didn't try to read any deeper into it. I think that's the joy of it. I did find it funny. I think the corniness of it is hilarious. The bad acting adds to it. For me, I will back Kyle up, and I would say out of all the movies that we've reviewed for Christmas, I think this is the one that you throw on in the background at a party because it is so goddamn ridiculous. People are going to stop and watch it.
I would agree with you that definitely this over Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Yeah, I would agree with you on that one.
And Black Christmas is too much of a drama. And then Silent Night, Deadly Night, it would be a battle between those two in this one.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know, man. I just, for some reason, I had a lot of fun with it. I thought the one-liners were just corny enough. I was expecting them to be bad, so I enjoyed how bad they were.
Yeah.
And it was just, for me, it was very fun. And like I said, I don't think it was boring at all. I thought, besides the opening scene, it moved up quite quickly. 3.5, man. I actually enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought. I went in with really low expectations and thought I was going to get like a really shitty VHS like B movie shot on VHS, and like I got a lot more out of it than I thought. So
it was like a really shitty VHS or movie shot on like Laserdisc.
Yeah, it was like a movie shot on Laserdisc. So I'm going to give it 3.5. And that's our show for this week. Guys, thanks for listening. Have a Merry Christmas. We hope that you get everything that you want. If you want to get us a present, just fill out
leave a review
on iTunes.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. Hey, we did get, speaking of that, we do give shout outs to people who leave us reviews. We did get a review on iTunes. Thank you, Anonymous. You left us a 5-star review but didn't write anything, then that's okay.
You can do that too.
You can do that too. You don't even have to write anything. Just leave us 5 stars.
You know what, Anonymous? You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. Sexy son of a bitch. Thank you. We really appreciate it. All right, guys, you can follow us at Cult Film Review on Instagram, or Cult Film _review on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook at Cult Film in Review. You can follow Kyle at.
You can follow me on Instagram at cultfilm_Kyle.
You can follow Chris at.
You can follow me at cultfilm_Chris on Instagram.
You can follow Mike at.
You can follow me at Mike Salustio on Twitter.
And you can follow me at VHS Collect on Instagram.
Don't forget to check out our website. Did
Do
you
that
plug
too.
We have one.
www.cultfilmreview.com.
You can see everything there.
see everything.
No, there's episodes on there that
There's
are
episodes, there's articles, there's a
Yep.
whole bunch of awesome shit.
Well,
Check
there's
it out.
episodes on there that aren't on iTunes because we don't have all of our episodes.
That is
on
true.
iTunes.
If you want to
true,
see
yeah.
all of our episodes, go to the website.
Or listen to them rather.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to see them and then listen to them.
Yeah.
I mean, if they just want to see them, that's fine.
All right, guys. So just remember, if you're gonna join a cult, make sure they watch good movies. We'll see you next week.